Warm greetings. Welcome for this online video session on operating system. Myself Jagdish, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering from Canara Engineering College, Bandpur. So this is a fifth module video session. So in this fifth module we have a two chapter. In the chapter 1 we'll see the mass storage system, and in the chapter 2 we'll see the protection. In the mass storage system, in the prescribed textbook, it is a ninth chapter, and these are the contents that is there in your VTU syllabus, and right structure and stable storage implementation is not there in your syllabus. So overview of the mass storage structure. Magnetic disk provides a bulk of secondary storage of modern computers. So most of your modern computers are all of magnetic disk. So to store the contents, whatever the contents you be executing, it has to be stored in some space, and that space we call it as a secondary storage. And that secondary storage disk is being designed with the help of the magnetics. Magnetic disk is being used for the construction of the secondary storages. So it's a rotates at 60 to 250 times per second. The rotation of the disk in the CPU, it is of 60 to 250 per second. So 1 per second it rotates around 60 to 260 depending upon the RAM size. Transfer rate, so whatever the contents it is been sent by the user, the transfer rate to the secondary storage is data flow between drive and computer. Transfer rate is nothing but it's a rate at which data flow between drive and computer. Positioning time, random access time. So positioning time is also called as a random access time. Is a time to move the disk R to the desired cylinder, that is nothing but seek time, and time for desired sector to rotate under the disk gate, rotational latency. So in the disk, so there will be a arm that is called as a optical arm. It will be placed so there will be in the disk, it will be number of sector as well as plotter. So the time taken to move the arm from the desired cylinder, so if any of the data has to be fetches, the arm to keep on moving from one sector to the another sector, so that is called as a positioning time, placing the arm to the next sector. So that is called as a positioning time, is a time to move disk arm to the desired cylinder. Head crash, head crash results from disk head. Head crash results from disk head making a contact with the disk surface. That's a bad. So due to some that is moving the arm from one sector to the another sector, at that time the head get crashes. So if it is moving in a circular, then the head won't get any crashes. If you keep on moving the disk from head arm from one position to the another position, at that time it get crashes. Disks can be removable. Obviously in the drive the disk can also be disk can be removed. You can see the secondary storage memory, it can be, it's a removable disk. Drive attached to the computer via bus. So there will be a drive that is being attached to the disk with the help of the buses. So you usually seen in the UP as well as in the EC lab how the bus will look. So buses may include or vary, that is EIDE, ATA, SATA, USB, fiber channel, CASI, SAS, and Firewire. These are the different that has been included different buses that are then available in the market. As well as these are some of the buses will be nowadays all of your CPU will include a SATA buses, USB, as well as CASI buses, ATA buses, etc. Host controller in computer uses a bus to talk to disk controller. Host controller in a computer uses a bus to talk to a disk controller. So usually from one computer to the another computer, or from the to the any server, usually uses a, that is within a LAN, we use as a LAN wire. So host controller in a computer uses a bus to talk to disk controller built into drive or a storage array. So this is actually a disk. So you can see here this is a disk and this is a arm. It will be keep on placing. So this is a disk. There will be number of track, and you can see this each one of the track will have a number of sectors. So this is we call as a sector. You can see the sector, so will be divided into a sector. Each track is been divided into a sector. So you can see that, and the entire there will be number of disk, the particularly the disk from the same position, we call it that as a cylinder. So if you want to access that content in the same cylinder, that is in the same track, particular track in all the disks, then that will form as a cylinder, and that is we call it as a cylinder. And read write header in each disk you can see. So whenever if you want to read that particular content from this particular sector, then we have to move this there is a arm, we have to rotate this disk, and the content will come, whatever the content is being stored in this sector, we can be readable. So this is how the disk works, and it is will rotating in a clockwise direction. You can see this is rotated in a clockwise direction. Hard disks plotters ranges from 0.85 inches to 14 inches. Historically, plotters ranges from 0.85 to 14 inches. You can see here this is we call it as a plotter. So usually the thickness from 0.85 to 14 inches, 0.85 inches to 14 inches, but commonly we'll have this is a standard plotters thickness, that is 3.5 inches or 2.5 inches and 1.5 inches, and it ranges from 30 GB to 3 terabytes per drive. So 30 GB, 30 gigabytes to 3 terabytes drive. Performances, transfer rate would be theoretically 6 GB per second. 6 GB per second you can transfer the data per second. You can transfer the data to the hard disk with the help of that is hard disk is 6 GB per second. Effectively transfer rate is really it will be 1 GB per second. So seek time from to access a content from the hard disk with the help of the arm, that is drive arm. You can seek the data from 3 millisecond to 12 milliseconds. 9 millisecond common for the desktop drive. So depending upon the desktop or laptop, usually it takes a 3 millisecond to fetches the data from the 3 millisecond to 12 millisecond. Have a seek time measured or calculated based on the number of tracks. So if you have one, this for example in a hard disk or maybe CD, you can consider if this is a track, so if it is usually will have a 1/3 of tracks. That is average seek time measured calculated by based on the 1/3 of the tracks. Latency speed on spindle speed is 1 per rpm equals to 60 rpm. 60 rpm is a latency speed based on latency speed. Average latency will be the half of the latencies. So spindle rpm is this is a various spindle rpm depending upon the devices, and average latency in millisecond is this is taken from the Wikipedia usually, but whatever the stored in Wikipedia will not be in usually it will not be a cannot be guaranteed it is a correct data, but we can at least minimum 50 to 60% will be correct data. Hard disk performance, how the hard disk will going to perform. Access latency is equals to average access time is equals to average seek time plus average latency. So for example, for fastest disk 3 millisecond plus 2 millisecond is equals to 5 millisecond. For slow disk will be 9 millisecond plus 5.56 millisecond, that equals to 14.56. Average input output time is equals to average access time plus amount to transfer per transfer rate plus control overhead. So this is what average input output time is equals to average access time plus amount to transfer divided by transfer rate plus control overhead. So first commercial disk drive in the 1956, that is been by IBM, included IBM model 350 disk storage system. So that is able to transfer 7-bit characters. This was the hard disk drive is been installing in the system, that is of in 1956. So 50 into 24 inches platters. Access time is lesser than 1 second. Access time is lesser than 1 second. So imagine how the usually it works while accessing the content. Solid state disk. Nowadays you can see most of the system is of all solid state disk, that is SSD disk. What will see what actually SSD disk helpful than the normal hard disk. Non-volatile memory used like hard drive, usually this SSD disk is usually used as a hard drive. So many technology have been included in that, can be more reliable than hard disk, usually more reliable than hard disk. Whatever you see in your normal laptop will be a HDD, that is a hard disk, it will be more reliable than the SSD is more reliable than the HDD. More expensive per megabytes. Obviously, for example, hard disk, normal hard disk, if it is for 1 terabyte, it is of 2001 terabyte, but SSD disk for 512 RAM only it costs around 4,000 rupees. So this is how the cost is more expensive than the normal hard disk. Maybe have shorter lifespan, less capacity, much faster. Main thing is it is much faster than the normal hard disk. So in a fraction of second you can shut down or you can start the operating system. Buses can be too slow, connected directly to the PCI, for example. Moving parts, so no seek time or rotational latency. So compared to, we'll see comparison of the magnetic type, how it works. We was earlier secondary storage medium. This was earlier secondary storage medium. There was floppy disk. I hope you have seen the floppy disk, something like this. Each floppy disk of 5 megabytes. So to transfer data from one system to the another system, usually we used to using like pen drive or maybe using a LAN cable. At that time we were using a floppy drive to transfer data from one system to another system, or that to not to guarantee that the data get maybe erased, or it may be not be able to detect easily. So such problems were faced in the earlier days. So earlier there was a secondary storage medium and relatively permanent and holds a large quantities of data. Access time is very slow random access was approximately 1000 times slower than the disk. So to transfer a one word file, MS Word file, from a magnetic tape to the system, it was something around, it may take around 5 to 10 minutes or more. Then how easily you can transfer now within a 1 to 10 seconds. It was not like that. In the earlier days it was taking around more than 5 to 10 minutes. Mainly used for backups, storages of infrequently used data, transfer the medium between the system, kept in pool and wound or rewound past rewrite header. So once the data under header, transfer the rate comparably to disk. 200 GB to 1.5 terabytes typically storages. So common technology used was LTO. Coming to the disk structure, usually the whatever the content will be stored in the disk, we call it as a logical blocks. We won't call it or whatever the content. Usually, whenever we store it in the data, yes. Usually, the disk drives are addressed as a one-dimensional array of logical blocks, where logical blocks is smallest unit of transfer. So, low-level formatting creates a logical blocks on physical media. So usually the whatever the contents, it will be stored in the secondary memory. We call it as a logical blocks. We won't call it in a kilobytes. We call it as in a we say it in a logical blocks. The one-dimensional array of logical blocks is mapped into the sector of disk sequentially. So one logical block is been mapped into the sectors of the disk sequentially. So in this sector, we can able to store one logical blocks. Sector 0 is the first sector of the first track on the uttermost cylinder. So first sector 0, this is a cylinder, we call it as this is a cylinder. In the sector 0, the first sector of the track on the uttermost cylinder. So sector, we call it, this is sector 0, and in this we call it as a sector 1, in this we call it sector 2. In each cylinder will be number of sectors. So in this, usually the sector 0, that is the first sector, we can able to access the logical blocks. Mapping proceeds in order through that track, then the rest of the tracks in the cylinder, then through the rest of the cylinder from the uttermost to the innermost. Logical to the physical address should be easy. Logical to the physical address should be easy. So accepted for bad sector, non-constant number of sectors per track by a constant angular velocity. Disk attachment. Host attached storage accessed through the input-output ports, talking to the input-output buses. CUSI itself, that is we used to call as CUSI or SCSI itself, is a bus up to 16 devices on one cable. So in one cable you can able to connect a 16 devices. So SCSI initiator request operation and SCSI target perform the task. So there will be one initiator and one will be a targeter. So initiator usually the sender and target is nothing but the receiver end. Each target can have up to 8 logical units. Fiber channel is a high-speed serial architecture. This is about the CUSI. This is CUSI how it going to work. So this is about the fiber channel. So fiber channel is high-speed serial architecture. Can be switched fabric with 24-bit address space, the basis of the storage area network, in which many hosts attached to the many storage units. So in a fiber channel, it works much faster than the CUSI, and we can able to transfer 24-bit address spaces. The base of the storage that is 24-bit address spaces, and we can able to send the data in a fraction of second. Input output directed to the bus ID, device ID, logical unit. So whenever you send the data from the sender as well as receiver, there will be a ID. So usually we'll call it as a bus ID, along with there will be a device ID as well as logical unit ID. So each and every whenever send a data from sender as well as receiver, there will be a address. Something how each one of your house will have a address. The same way it will have a, like, so for example, taluk level, taluk, then hobli, then house number. Same way for whenever to send a data to the system, one system to another system, usually will have a bus ID, device ID, and logical unit. Storage array it's just attached to a disk, so something like number of disks will be there in a storage. Storage array as a controller provides a feature. What are the features? It will have a port to connect the host computer, memory control software, so there will be memory to control each of the system. There will be number of systems, so to monitor that systems, it requires a memory, a few 2000 of disk, so there will be number of disk will be there for each system. A RAID and a spare hot swap. A RAID is not much important in your syllabus, so that's why I'm not explaining much. So you'll be studying in a 7th semester or 8th semester, separate chapter will be there. Shared storage, memory efficiency. So whenever there will be a disk system, so instead of having each one of the system having a separate memory, instead of that we can have one single large memory where each system will be connected to the memory. So this is called as a shared memory, where this shared memory, the file whatever that stored here, it can be accessed from this system to this system as well as this system as well as this system. So it's shared memory. So it will be helpful so that it can access or it can store the data in a shared memory, where efficiency is more compared to the having each one of the system having a separate memory. Feature found in some file systems: snapshot, clones, thin, provision, replication, duplication. These are the features are being provided to the storage array. So this is a storage area network. You can see here storage arrays. This is a disk. With the help of the storage area network, will be able to connect it to the data processing center, web content. So instead of having each and every disk in a single system, if it is stored in a storage area, all other system can be connected to this storages. There is so it can access whatever the devices or whatever the services is required. It can access with the help of the storage area network. Otherwise, it should have separately. It has to be taken by the client to the client. So then, whatever is economy will be more having for a single system having this SAN. Instead of that, number of systems adopting the storage area network, then the amount what is required is very less. So multiple hosts attached to the multiple storage arrays. So there will be number of system. So one number of system can access the connected to the SAN. Then whatever the services will be provided to in the what are the services required by the client can access easily. And the storage area network is one or more storage arrays. Host also attached to the switches. Storage made available via LUN masking. Easy to add or remove the storage, add a new host and allocated its storages. Why we have a separate storages network and communication network consider? So this is what is about storage area network, but in your syllabus is not there much, so I am not explaining much more about storage area network. Network attached storages. So each one of the system will be attached with the network attached storages. So you can see here number of system is been attached to the LAN or WAN. So whatever the services is required by this, so that's what they have shown in the client. So network attached storage. For example, if this client requires some data, whatever the data is being stored in the second computer, it cannot directly communicate. It has to take a permission from the attached the network attached storages server, then only you can access us. Otherwise, if it wants to separate storage is required for the system, then cost will be more. Network attached storage is a storage made available over the network rather than the local connection. NFS and CIFS are commonly protocols implemented via remote procedure calls between the host and the storage over typically TCP or UDP. High CASI, that is Internet CASI protocol, uses IP network to carry the CASI protocol. So remotely attaching to the devices is blocks. Disk scheduling. So disk scheduling, we'll see it in the next online session. So if you have any doubt, you can ask in the online class. Thank you all.